12 of the SFL kicks off this evening from Fatality Field here in Phoenix, Arizona, as the Arizona Scorpions play host to the DC Dragons. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Daggs, and with me in the booth once again is Gerald Smith. Our stats crew tonight, Jadooby-Doo and Danny Carmichael, along with commissioner and producer Cameron Irvine. You are watching the Simulation Football League on YouTube. Gerald, we got a big game tonight between DC and Arizona. It's a game that we actually asked for in this time block because we were so excited about it.
Yeah, we had to flex it in and I guess flex our muscles. I don't know if I have muscles anymore, but a lot of these guys on the field,
they got some, yeah.
Yeah, I sure don't.
No, that's why we just sit up here in the booth eating Mom Pops.
Mom Pops.
That's what we do. We got some nice uniforms tonight. It's some camouflage-looking uniforms from Arizona, and the white and blues by DC. Coin toss down here on a starry night in Phoenix as we get ready for some SFL action. Arizona just dropping 2 games in a row. It was kind of unfathomable after they started off 7-0 to think that they might, lose anything, the way that they were playing, and then to lose 2 in a row. They'll get the first opportunity on offense tonight as we get this one started. Ball is teed up. Caleb Richards has his hand in the air, and we are underway from Phoenix. Kick taken out of the end zone. Returned up past the 20, 25, gets it up to the 28-yard line. And that is where Ashley Jackson will come out onto the field at quarterback. Had a quiet week last week against Florida, Gerald. I think that's the easiest way to describe it. 7 of 14, only a 50% completion percentage, only 111 yards through the air, no touchdowns, but no picks, kept it clean, but obviously not enough to get the win.
Yeah, so and that's the thing, right? So Ashley Jackson has been in a situation where she's, haven't been able to carry the team or been asked to carry the team, but as long as they stay mistake free, you're actually giving your squad a chance every week.
She'll start off with a run, handing it off right up the middle, giving it to Bismarck Wright, the fullback. He'll pick up 8 yards, brings up a 2nd down and 2. Starting offense here for the Arizona Scorpions. Ashley Jackson at quarterback, Brad Jones, DJ Moses the second at halfback, Susar Bismarck Wright at fullback, Donnie Hands, Yayo Montana, Hank Earl Troll, and TJ Punk are the wide receivers. That run once again on the ground picks up a 1st down. That one going to Brad Jones. At tight end, you've got Adam Grabowski and, of course, the legendary Will Todd. Tina Begin is a tackle along with Patrick Kelly. At guard, Gene Benazzi and Igor Barbatov. At center is Charles Michael. 1st down and 10 for the Scorpions. Oh, nice pass up the left-hand side, and that one is complete. Getting it to Yayo Montana himself. 1st down and 10 Scorpions.
See, and that's and you can actually see how Arizona likes to do their stuff just from these first 3 plays that they've actually had, right? So they actually ran themselves a 1st down on the first 2 plays, and what they did, they got themselves in a situation where they can get those DBs kind of playing up, and then the wide receiver was able to get behind him, and Ashley Jackson threw a strike.
Offset eye in the backfield, 3 wide receiver set. Jackson gets it complete, turning around. Hank Earl Troll had to get the whole boat turned around there, get upfield, picked up 4. Let's talk about the starting defense here for DC. Kano Fortson, John Gary, Mike Wagner, and Jason Bourne on the defensive line. Nick Fargo at inside linebacker, along with Jason Strongbow and Saeed Gore at outside linebacker. We'll go over the secondary after this. Single receiver up top. They'll go back down to the ground. Nice pickup there by Brad Jones. And the secondary, Peanut Say, Jadooby-Doo, Daryl Bullock at corner. At safety, you got John DeSantis, Tyler Highfield, Josh Vasquez, and Kev Say Jr. 3rd and 3 for the Scorpions.
We're going to see. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Bismarck Wright run right in the middle.
Jackson's going to hand this one off. No, goes to Brad Jones, DJ Moses, and Moses gets bottled up. No gain at all on the play. 4th down, and they're right on the edge of field goal range here. You see Cliff Allen out, and he will try A long 49-yarder.
Yeah, and I didn't like the way Brad Jones kind of approached that there. He had some room on the outside. Instead, he tried to stay behind the offensive lineman. It just didn't work.
Field goal is on its way. It is good from 49 yards out. I wasn't sure if that was going to make it, Gerald. It was kind of dying along the way, but he gets the kick through, and Arizona strikes first. Cliff Allen now 19 of 20 on the season.
Wow, and he didn't have a whole lot more leg to that one, but hey, he made it through. And there we say, yeah, special teams. I can't do it all.
You can't do it the right way?
No, I don't want to.
Is it because of the near-death experience?
Yes. Just do that.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it as well. Kick returned by Mason Kirby. That's where Bash Synergy will take over on offense. Winning 44-14 over DC. And, you know, talk about a quarterback not having to do a whole lot. Synergy only threw the ball 8 times last week. 8! He completed 6 passes.
And they ran for over 200 yards.
Yeah, that was, Kevin Say had quite the day. Say gets his first carry of the ball game, and that one gets bottled up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, brought down by Nathaniel Diggs. And we'll roll through some of the starting offense here for DC. Sabaj Synergy's the quarterback. You got Kevin Say and Sam Harrison at halfback. Chuck Steller is the fullback. Mason Kirby and Josh Gill at wide receiver. Jay Hayden and Lauren Percoco at tight end. Right on cue, Percoco gets the ball. The 6'7" tight end, 3-time All-Star. Gerald, I know you can't ever say too many good things about Lauren Percoco.
Yeah, she's just, I just think she's like a freak when it comes to tight ends, right? I don't think we've had this type of great tight end play
since I retired.
No, you were not that good. Matt made you better than what you were. He
made me everything I was.
So, but like, she's just so versatile. She's able to stretch the field, get down the field. She can catch the ball in traffic and all that stuff. So, and she's a very, very good blocking tight end as well. I don't think we've had a tight end in the league that can do all 3 things like that.
Yeah.
She can block, she can catch in traffic, and she can stretch the field.
2nd down and 2. You didn't think Kevin Say would stay bottled up all night, did you? Picks up 8 on that last carry. 2nd down and 2 for DC. This one going into the hands of Sam Harrison. He gets, he'll actually gain a yard there, and nice sunglasses here at night.
It's
3rd down and 1.
It's dark.
I wear my sunglasses at night. Anyway, 3rd down and 1. Dinner and a show if you're having dinner.
You got the pipes.
It's true. It's that bomb pop makes me want to stay. Kevin Say goes nowhere on that one. J.R. Lawless with the stop. And 4th down for DC. And they will bring out their punting unit. Ron Van Cleef on to punt for the Dragons.
Yeah, what a way to come off the edge right there by J.R. Lawless to be able to shut that 1st down attempt down.
So Arizona gets 3 points on their opening possession. DC able to get a 1st down, but they only moved the ball 23 yards and then had to punt it away. Although in fairness, Arizona only scored or only gained 32 yards on their opening possession. This time backed up to their own 15-yard line. They'll need to get a little bit further.
Look, and these teams look very similar on both sides of the ball in terms of how their offense operates and how their defense operates. So we could find ourselves. Look,
Jackson brought down in the backfield and sacked. I think that was Mike Wagner getting that one. Yeah, indeed, it was Mike Wagner with the sack.
Mike Wagner, the quite rotund guy at 6'1", 350, coming right in there and getting himself in there and getting another sack for his squad right there.
Sack number 10 on the season for Wagner. That's incredible. That's a lot. Jackson under pressure again. Wagner chasing her down again. Jackson running, gets the 1st down and more. Doesn't even try to slide. John DeSantis has to lay her out.
Look, I can just see Ashley Jackson dropping back the pass and Wagner busts through the line. She decides to take off, knowing she has the agility edge on Wagner right there, who has now become the SFL leader in sacks, by the way, with that 10th sack. But Look, what a way for Ashley Jackson to get down there and run for that first down and get themselves, another set of downs.
Held on to the ball that time, did not fumble that one away. Gets that quick pass over the middle to TJ Punk. First down and 10 from midfield. Jackson actually fumbled in the third quarter on the Monday night game against Florida on a scramble. So she's been probably carrying a ball the entire week leading up to this game with people trying to punch it out.
But I can also, tell, Coach Eddie Gage is on the side yelling at Ashley to slide. But you know what? When you're a mom like she is, they just seem to have superpowers and they can end up doing whatever they want.
First and 10. Run up the middle, goes for a gain of 2. Brought down by Saeed Gore. Second down and 8. We hit about approaching 3 minutes left here in the first quarter.
And they're just moseying on down the field again, it seems like, right now with a little bit of ease.
Jackson
wide open.
Yeah. Moseying by throwing it deep down the field to Montana once again. His second catch of the ball game gets him all the way back down to about where their drive stalled out last time.
Yeah, and that's a guy you don't want to leave open, right? That's his 42nd catch on the season, which I believe kind of ties him with his other teammate in TJ Punk this season. So I mean, look, these guys catch the balls a ton, and that's a guy you just cannot leave open. He's a playmaker.
Pass down to the bottom. That one is complete. And going right back down to TJ Punk, he'll get a first down. And Yale Montana just tormenting us while he was on Alamo City, and now he's over here in Arizona, still getting a lot of work done. Already has a couple of catches in this one. Leads the team in receiving yards for the Scorpions. Actually, at this point, he's got over 600 yards now on the season, Gerald.
Yeah, and they're just doing good things, and that's the guys that Ashley Jackson's been looking for, right? Especially when they're as wide open as they've been so far this season. This game, whenever she's found them.
Sticking to the ground, getting this one out to Brad Jones, 7-yard pickup up the left side.
Look, and Brad Jones is averaging 4 yards per carry on the season thus far. I mean, he's fifth in the league coming into this week. In rush yards, right? He's well on pace to, get himself 1,000 yards on the season, which at this day and age in the SFL is something that's just not going to be a real common. Oh, look at this.
Down to the bottom, wow. Breaks through some tackles and punches his way into the end zone. DJ Moses, touchdown Scorpion.
Just as I start mentioning Brad Jones and how good that he's been, the former MVP from season 20 says, hey, I still got something to do too. I'm going to navigate my way through some traffic and get ourselves in the end zone from about 8 yards out and looking to get themselves a 2-score lead now. So DC's going to have to do something. I guess we're going to figure out if a Scorpion can actually beat a dragon.
I mean, if it stings it enough.
A dragon is a very large animal. Is it an animal? What would be a dragon? Is that an animal?
Of course it's an animal.
Doesn't dragon have scales?
Yeah.
Fish have scales.
Fish are animals.
No, but like what type of fish is like what? Well, fish is fish. What kind of species shall I say it is?
Fish.
Okay, what is a dragon?
Not a fish.
Not a fish.
Right.
Why does it have scales?
I'm not sure, man. Let's watch the game.
Should it be like a lizard? Like yeah. What is that? An amphibian?
I think lizards are animals too, though.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Are they animals or are they bugs?
No, they're animals. A lizard?
What makes a bug a bug and an animal an animal?
How annoying it is, I think. Like if it buzzes in your ear. Lizards can't buzz in your ear.
What is lizard? Is that an amphibian?
Sure. I think so.
I don't know what they are.
First down and 10 from the 20. DC now down 2 scores early in this one. Got to get Kevin Say going. Try to on the right-hand side. He'll only pick up a 1-yard gain. Second down and 9.
And they're going to have to try and recapture what they actually had in the last week with the way they were able to run the game. Run the ball really well and then find Lauren Prococo on the good routes that they, that she typically runs.
Running down to the bottom.
Oh, Chuck Steller.
Yeah, Chuck Steller trying to get something going. He'll only pick up about 3 yards. Producer throwing the nice "the more you know" graphic. Listen, this is it's a opportunity to watch some football and get an education.
I don't know if I should be teaching anybody anything.
Well, yeah. Now, when you think that fish aren't animals, synergy to throw.
Oh,
Tried to get that one down to the bottom. Mason Kirby, the intended target, but a quick 3 and out. So now the ball going back to Arizona, already up 10-0, and they've got a golden opportunity here, Gerald, to really make a statement early in this one that, yeah, we might have lost 2 in a row, but yeah, we're firing back now.
yeah, and I actually think that Synergy rushed that throw a little bit. He had very good protection, even though Arizona brought some pressure. He just threw a little bit prematurely. Didn't let the routes mature, and now they're getting the ball back to Arizona, who have scored on their first 2 drives so far.
First down and 10 now for Arizona. Ashley Jackson already has thrown 7 passes. Only had 7 completions last week, Gerald, and already has 7 in this one, as she is a perfect 7 for 7 on the day. 75 yards. Connecting with 5 different targets already. Going over the middle, and that one going to yet another target. This time, Will Todd getting involved. I know that's something that head coach Eddie Gage has been wanting to do all season long. Feels like he hasn't quite gotten Will Todd the ball quite enough, but he gets that one there. Big gain.
Yeah, and what a way to find him, right? Whenever Will Todd runs a route like that, he's matched up on a linebacker in zone, and then they vacate, like right between that second and third line of defense. There's a huge hole right there, and Ashley Jackson is never going to miss that.
Final moments of the first quarter. We'll tick away on this run. Brad Jones picks up a couple. That is how the first quarter will come to a close. 10-0. Arizona in the lead at home. You are watching the Simulation Football League on YouTube. Gerald, Scorpion Gulch in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a unique home that was located in South Mountain Park. It's a must stop if you're in the area. Pretty cool place. And hey, Dags Droneworks stopped. Aerial coverage of today's game provided by Dags Droneworks, aerial photography and videography services for real estate, events, marketing, and more. You can learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. Beautiful view of the Arizona desert.
Yeah, is there scorpions in that gulch? Is that why it's called Scorpion Gulch?
Well, I'm sure there was. I didn't go digging through the dirt. If that's what you're asking. But Jackson under pressure and brought down.
Oh no!
Once again, Mike Wagner. Yeah, he was just relishing in the victory there. I thought he was injured as well.
I thought he was just laying there as if, because that would be a huge loss to him, because he's been dominant this season.
And tonight already.
Yeah, on the defensive front. It's his second sack of the game right now. So, and they're going to need him, especially on these third downs like this as well, to be able to get in there and actually force pressure on Ashley Jackson to maybe help the DC defense come away with some turnovers.
4 receivers set on third down and 10. DC's defense trying their best to get a stop. Mike Wagner been a big part of it. Not only does he have 2 sacks, but he had a lot of pressure forcing Jackson to run on the last drive. Jackson had all kinds of time there. You only can cover a guy for so long, especially a guy like Yayo Montana.
Yeah, and that's a guy that can always find good routes. He has a good feel for where he's at on a football field and what his quarterback needs to be able to get himself open, especially in a rollout type situation that Ashley Jackson did. He finds the space and everything else, and she didn't miss him once again. And as it's a tough situation for DC right there to have that third and long and an opportunity to get off the field and force a punt. But now Arizona got a down reset, and they're well within field goal range.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they're in field goal range now. In control here in this one. They hand the ball off, only getting back to the line. +1, second down. And I know Mike Wagner this season, 11 sacks after getting those 2 so far tonight. It's the most by a defensive lineman in the 4K23 era. I was surprised when he got his first sack, and I was looking at the numbers. I'm like, wow, that's double digits already. I mean, I know look at that. Montana, end zone, touchdown Arizona, and they are on a roll.
I don't know what the defensive secondary is looking at. You cannot allow Yayo Montana to get that wide open, and he was right over there. No safety help. The safety was helping right on the outside of the corner on that end, right, which kind of makes no sense because the wide receiver that he was, the corner that he was helping on that side was actually in control of Yayo Montana. He just a huge hole right in the middle, didn't keep to his responsibility, and now they're down 3 scores.
Have you ever seen that graphic? Like looking like that?
No.
10 for 10, 137 yards, touchdown. Like that, you can't get it any better than that. There was a pass for 0 yards on there, but other than that, perfection so far for Ashley Jackson tonight, and really making a statement that Arizona, I talked about it in the pregame show. If the unthinkable happens and they lose the next 3 games, I said it was the unthinkable, so don't come at me. But I already up 17-0. We still have 8 minutes to go in the second quarter.
See, look, and they're up 17-0, right? And that's why I said I'm like, even though they lost those last 2 games, there's no panic in the desert or anything like that, right? They know what they've done to get themselves 7 wins, right? They can just, kind of, reach back and capture that and actually move forward with it. So.
Sticking to the Kevin Say train, he'll pick up a 1-yard gain as he carries that ball. We just saw Ashley Jackson's last 10 passes. Our producer can't put up a graphic for Sebastian Synergy yet. He's only thrown the ball twice. We're in the second quarter. He's got 1 completion on the day so far. They're trying to ride, with Kevin Say. He's got 5 rushing attempts, but only 10 yards. Synergy's going to have to do something. Tries here and overthrows his target. So now 1 of 3. He was trying to get that one back out to Jay Hayden.
Yeah, and they've had probably almost 3 and outs. As far as both their drives so far, right? They just are struggling right now. And the thing about it, it's not that Arizona is putting any pressure on Synergy. I just think he's getting a little bit too antsy and throwing the ball a little bit too soon, right? Lauren Pakoko has a knack for getting open. You give yourself a little bit of time and look for her.
Yeah, he tried to go that direction. Saw her go in motion up to the top, tried to force it to her almost into heavy coverage, and another quick 3 and out.
Again, it just proved my point right there. Synergy had some time. He threw it way too fast. He can't do that. He needs to let those routes mature a little bit more, right? And have confidence in your offensive line to give you the time. So far, it just seems like he's playing back there as if he's afraid to get sacked. That's what it looks like to me from up here in the booth.
Yeah. Van Cleef punts that one back to the 40, returned up to the 45-yard line. Talked about Synergy stats. We already saw Jackson's perfect 10 of 10, 137 yards and a touchdown. You've got Yayo Montana. Listen, if I had a receiver on a day that had 84 yards and a touchdown, I'd say that's a pretty complete ball game. Again, 7 minutes left here, almost 8 minutes left here in the second quarter. Yayo Montana, 4 receptions, 84 yards and a touchdown. Crazy.
I just need to get my guys a hold on the ball.
Well, then there's plays like that. Our first incompletion of the day. Adam Grabowski. Just a little miscommunication there.
Well, I don't know what he was reaching for on that one, bomb because pops. That was like, I guess.
They got bomb pops on the sideline. We started a trend.
Yeah, we sure did.
Just so everybody knows, I did actually share a bomb pop with you. As soon as we went off the air, you got it.
Yeah, I got one.
When I say I shared it with you, it was really my lovely wife. I wasn't going to give you anything.
Yeah, because you're
That's how I roll.
You're a mean person.
I know.
Winning has changed you.
Nice catch and run by Brad Jones. We'll pick up another Arizona first down.
Everything Arizona is doing is working, with the exception of a pass to Grabowski.
Yeah.
Because Brad Jones right here just catches it off in the flat. There's no one within 10 plus yards of him, and he just takes it and just runs. And it's God, they just have an answer for every single thing that DC is throwing at them defensively right now.
First down and 10 from the DC 40. Send a receiver in motion down to the bottom. That is Yayo Montana. Jackson We'll throw over the middle, and once again, wide open. TJ Punk gets see his third catch of the ball game. Shout out to those of you joining us in the chat. Appreciate everybody being here tonight on our Friday night kickoff game. Will Todd, we've got Joseph Guy Clausen, we've got Albert Begin, Damon Simeon in the house. We've got, let's see, who else is here? We've got Grant Hardaway, Juan, Mississippi. I think there were some others too that just haven't chatted in a little while, but
Robert Crone.
Yeah, Robert Crone. Got Robert Cherry.
Ernest McCrae. I've seen him in there.
Appreciate everybody.
He's one of my favorite guys. I'm not going to lie.
McCrae. Yeah, he's
Ernest
a cool
McCrae.
dude. Yeah.
Love that guy.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. I got to meet him in Cincinnati and chat with him for a bit. That was one of the highlights of the trip, to be honest with you.
I need to try and convince. Maybe if I feed him, he loves shrimp po' boys.
Oh, yeah.
So I wonder if I can feed him enough shrimp po' boys, he'll come play for Louisiana.
Probably not. He likes winning.
Probably so.
Oh, that was mean. You're right. I'm not a nice person. 3rd down and inches. I feel bad. I apologize. I'll get you another bomb pop. DJ Moses setting him up with a 3rd and inches, and good opportunity for a Bismarck right. Are you mad?
And it's like, man, like I wasn't saying that when you were like 0 and gazillion a couple seasons back.
It's 0 and 7. Thank you.
It's the same.
I fixed it. It's the same thing he says. First down picked up.
You did. You sure did.
Inside the red zone. Eddie Gage says Ernest is one of the best teammates that he's ever had. So I don't think you're going to be taking them away from him.
I don't know why he's in the booth. I have no idea why he's dropping notes in the booth.
Just a reminder to all of you, the pregame poll, 83% of the viewers of the Matt Wilson Weekly Kickoff Show voted me as a cannibal. So if you're wondering what that means, you should watch the show. I'm not explaining it any further than that. You see Cam trolling me last week, and he put up a stat disparaging the Aztecs, and I refused to read it. Not doing that.
Oh, he made it happen though.
Yeah.
It was unavoidable. He got his point across. That's domination.
That's it. 2nd down and 6. Speaking of domination. Dominating hit there. No gain on the play for Jones. Can actually pick up a 1st down before scoring.
Now, this is where it's, you know, they seemingly actually got some production out of Donnie Hans, because what does Donnie Hans do? He scores touchdown. He's a touchdown leader on the team.
Jackson into the end zone, touchdown. Arizona getting this one to TJ Punk, and the route is on here in the desert. 23-0 with an extra point pending.
Yeah, so much for the flex tonight that actually was going to turn into something that was really good, and it very well could. But here in the first half, you have Arizona just opening it up to 23-0 lead with 4 minutes left in the first half. It's not looking good for DC. They need a little bit of, I don't know, something.
Magic. They need some magic at this point. I mean, they're down by quite a bit. So speaking of the convention, Gerald, you know, I talked about meeting Ernest McCrae at the convention. Definitely one of the highlights of the trip. I've met so many people in this league now face to face, and if you want an opportunity to do that, the SFL convention is definitely the place to go. You can plan this one out early, folks. The SFL convention for 2025 was announced as early as it's ever been, and the SFL convention is headed to Baltimore for the 2025 convention, kicking off the league's 25th anniversary season. It'll be July 10th through 14th, 2025. Join the SFL Nation at the rooftop pool of our host hotel, the Hyatt Regency, looking out over Baltimore's Inner Harbor, and you can revel in the league's first convention on the East Coast. Love it over here on the East Coast. You're getting used to it. You can log in to reserve your room by visiting the website, simfl.net. Find a link to the convention there. You can get the special group rate. Get your room locked in now. You don't pay anything until the day of the event. So go ahead and reserve your room. Come on out, meet us all, and Gerald will, I don't know, sign your head.
I'll autograph your baby.
Yeah, the baby's head.
Yeah, why not?
Synergy trying to get something going. Passes this one down to Chuck Steller. So we get a look at the team stats comparison. And Gerald, that's just wrong. I mean,
when you've only gained 1 first down in an entire first half to this point, right? I know there's 4 minutes left. It's just not all that good at all. they're struggling on offense right now, and it's credit to the Arizona defense.
Synergy finally getting this one complete. It's been a little bit, a hot minute, as they say, but Lauren Percoco gets herself another catch. And Gerald, I mean, we mentioned earlier on after she got her first catch and in the pregame show that she kind of is the DC offense, at least the passing game. And, you know, so far tonight, that's no lie. She's got the only receptions. She led all tight ends in yards in season 21 with over 1,000. She led all tight ends last season with 1,200 yards. She's leading all tight ends this season with about 850 yards now on the season.
Yeah, look, and she's doing her thing, man. She's and that's the thing. Like, if they can look on that last play for Sebastian Synergy on that catch to Lauren Percoco there, what he did, he stood in the pocket, gave those routes a little bit more time to mature, and what he was able to do, get the ball down to Lauren Percoco, and she actually pulled it down with a one-handed catch.
Synergy decides to run with it. Slides
no,
and fumbles, turns it over. Yeah. That's what happened to Jackson last week, Gerald, and it just happened to Synergy this week in Arizona's favor. Fumbles the ball away. That ball was clearly out, recovered by Arizona, and that drive is over.
Wow, I could argue that he was down, that the ball shouldn't come out because the quarterback was giving itself up. I think it might be worth a challenge to get the ball back because it could give you the momentum that you need, and I don't think they're going to challenge it, which I think is the wrong choice. But things just went from bad to worse, and now it could very well be 4 scores.
And 7 years ago, our forefathers set forth upon you know the Gettysburg Address, right?
No, not at all.
All right. Nathaniel Diggs forced that one out. Sean Moore, his fellow linebacker, with the recovery.
Now they got someone hurt on defense.
You know, bad going to worse. Yeah, that's
Jadoobie-Doo.
Down and out.
I mean, did Jadoobie-Doo think he was better served in the stats truck or something? Because
hopefully this injury doesn't impact the stats version of Jadoobie-Doo.
He's holding out. He's holding out for the bomb pop, I think.
Probably. Bomb pops will help bring you back to life.
It's almost like a Wickles pickle. They're just they got magical
those are
powers.
good too.
You need another jar? I got one for you.
Of course I need another jar.
All right, I'll hook you up.
Sweet. Jackson, like no mercy. She's just going to come out here and just say, hey, let's just throw it to our leading receiver on the team and the leading receiver of the evening. 5th catch now for Montana, now over 100 yards.
They just can't miss between Yale Montana and TJ Punk.
No, it's incredible. I mean, the two of them combining for about 160 right now on the day. You can see Montana's numbers. He's got 108. And Punk with about 50 yards. Even got Will Todd with a 20-yard reception. We'll go back down to the run game. Gerald, the second half is going to be filled with all sorts of fun facts and story time, I think.
I think so, too. I got so many, I almost 2 weeks worth of stories. Terrible ones that no one wants to hear.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't need to hear about your medical woes.
But, like, I don't know if it's really medical woes. It's just...
You don't think so?
Maybe I was just being soft. I don't know.
I mean, listen, I was going to say it, but you've already said I'm mean, and then I went and told you that a player wouldn't sign you there because he likes winning, and that was... I kind of feel, but that was a low blow. Would it help if I grabbed this jar of confetti and threw it at you? Probably not.
No, you've learned your lesson with confetti.
2 minutes.
That doesn't go well.
No, it doesn't. I'll never touch it again. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Arizona in control in this one. Already in scoring position again, Gerald.
It's just not looking good for the DC squad right now because Arizona's 9 yards from just putting this thing almost to bed.
Yeah. 24-0 as we have second down and goal from the 5. DC at risk of going back to a 500 record at 5-5. And they're at no risk. They're currently 3rd in the division. They're really at no risk of falling any farther than that. And we got Pittsburgh at 4.
He tried to jump in. He couldn't get it.
3rd down and goal from about the 1. You've got Pittsburgh at 4 and Queen City at 5 in the North Division. but they have a combined record of 1-17. So, DC, even if they lose all the rest of their games, they'll still stay at that number 3 spot. But they want to try to at least get above Baltimore. They're currently on the outside of the playoffs looking in. They need to win something. This one would have been a good one. Still have a shot at it, but
that's what they needed. Pick it up.
And picked up by Arizona. So Jackson smartly diving on that ball, retaining possession. They'll at least be able to get a field goal out of it. But DC, they'll almost certainly have to win next week if they're going to overtake Baltimore, who currently sits at 6-3.
Look, and this is something really interesting that was just handed to us as well. Like Kevin Say had 151 yards against Denver last week, who beat Arizona the week prior to last week.
Right.
And tonight he only has 10 yards.
Yeah, Arizona's done a great job of keeping them in check. And, I know from playing Arizona earlier on in the season and losing, like so many have, they thrive.
We didn't.
You didn't lose to them?
No.
Oh, why is that?
Didn't lose to Arizona.
No, you definitely haven't.
I don't know.
You haven't
Just
lost
saying.
to, I don't know, Las Vegas either. Ain't no team there anymore.
Well, you said who hasn't lost to Arizona? I just decided to say we didn't lose to them.
You're just a funny guy, aren't you?
Yeah, just putting that out there.
I'm just saying. Listen, Arizona thrives on applying pressure, stopping the run. That defensive line, really the front seven, is really what helps this Arizona squad succeed.
But that's something that really isn't happening right now with Arizona, because they really haven't, seemingly applied too much pressure
Not
to
the pressure,
Synergy.
but they haven't let Say run.
Yeah, so some of it has actually been self-imposed, where he's just getting it out a little bit too early and
almost threw a pick 6 right there. Tried to one-hand catch that one, but it was swatted down. 2nd down and 10, 36 seconds to go in the first half.
I don't know if they do. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what I would do in this situation, down 27-0 right before half.
I'd try to score. I'd have to try to see if I could get something going. If they could score a touchdown here, they get the ball back to start the second half, get another touchdown. Now at least you're only down a couple of scores. I don't know. It's bad. You're down 27-0. Synergy throws.
Oh, and
that one is caught.
Percoco
Percoco catches it. Pass interference on the play, though.
Why is he running in slow motion? That was so weird. Like, he's just trying to get some TV time there.
Might have been.
He was just like almost running in place.
So clock stopped, 33 seconds to go. 1st down and 10.
But look, DC has all their timeouts, and look, if they start just kind of running the ball here, it would be kind of a little bit on the disappointing side, because they're not being successful.
Yeah.
And
they'll call a timeout here.
Kevin Say just gets picked up and thrown to the ground like he was like a sack of
toddler.
potatoes.
Yeah.
Looked like some sort of a wrestling move. But it's going to be, I don't know. I think they need to keep the ball in the air. They're too close to midfield right now. There we go.
Synergy.
And keep giving her the ball, because she's nearly catching everything that's going her way that she can actually get her hands on. So keep going, even if it's just a field goal. Give yourself a little bit of hope and give your squad a little bit of a positive momentum going into half, right? Because I do think they actually get the ball back.
DC does, yes.
At half, so you could potentially cut, it down to 2 scores potentially.
Getting it back out to Percoco again and getting in field goal range.
There we go.
They'll call their final timeout. They're at least in field goal range now. This 2-minute drill looking pretty efficient so far. Their no huddle against Lexington was actually much better than their regular offense a couple of weeks ago, and working for them now, but still it's been kind of one-dimensional. Like the offense is only Lauren Percoco so far on this one.
Yeah, and to have her stretch the field, I'd take her 1-on-1 against. Run it again.
Well, no, they're going to kick the field goal. I think they have just enough time to get the field goal unit out there. We'll see if they do.
I don't know why the coaching staff would just elect to just rush these guys out there.
I don't know.
It's a kick. I don't even know if
can they get the snap off? No.
Oh my God.
Just out of time. Took just a second too long. Oh, that brings us to the half. Oh, I thought it was going to be 27-3. No, it's 27-0. Arizona blanking DC here in Phoenix. Gerald will see the first half stats and some snapshots. Your thoughts on this one so far?
Well, they left some points out there on the field right there that the opportunity couldn't do something, because they could have very well ran up and spiked the ball, thought they had enough time, and I guess they had a mix up where the holder was maybe behind them to like snap the darn ball, but it couldn't get it done and couldn't get any points on the board. But we all know that their offense in DC runs through Lauren Prococo, and they finally started moving the ball right there to know how to offense. And Arizona's just is back on track after starting 7-0, losing 2 straight.
Ashley Jackson with only 1 incompletion on the day. Most of her passes going to Yeo Montana. 5 catches, 108 yards. He is your halftime player of the game. Let's take a quick halftime break presented by Brakes GPT.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
An Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
Break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Brakes GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more. Brakes GPT offers you a shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors on our Brakes GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on our site, brakesgpt.com. Gerald, I think that's probably, at least in terms of the SFL faithful, probably one of the most popular advertisements of all time.
We all in the background are quoting the one-liners with the Chad Johnson and the Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco. You know,
Yeah.
and it's like, you know, it's
Patrick Mahomes.
Aaron Rodgers. Oh my goodness.
Listen, that's how you know advertising is successful.
And it tops it off with the Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
He uses way more enthusiasm than that. All right, so Sabaj Synergy, 6 of 11 in the first half, only 78 yards. All 6 of those 11 went to Lauren Prococo. She's got 78 yards on the day, just tried to hit Josh Gill. That is now the 4th different target that Synergy has tried to connect with, only able to find Prococo so far.
Yeah, and they're going to have to, go outside of that or get her in a situation where she has to, is able to stretch the field, go down the field, right? A lot of the stuff she's catching is right over the middle.
Synergy throws that one straight into the waiting hands of a Scorpion. Let's see who that was. It looks like that might have been Sean Moore. Yeah, inside linebacker. Swatting that one down just like that. 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, and this is where you would expect Lauren Prococo, and she's lined it up on the inside of this, little bunch right here on the left side of the offense. And we're going to see where she goes. I know Synergy looks her way first on every route, so we're going to see.
Going down to Prococo. She's not going to be able to get 10, though. Only picks up 4 there. 4th down and 6.
And they're punting.
Yes, they will indeed.
It's just not looking good for them, right? The way that Arizona is playing, defense and everything else. Look, they're doing a good job trying to bottle up Lauren Prococo. They're doing a great job bottling up and shutting down everything else in the run game and them throwing to anybody else. Lauren Prococo is just an exceptional player. She's going to get hers, but they're going to have to do something else, or maybe even if Lauren Prococo is that dominant for them, and we know she can be that dominant player and take over a game, they're going to have to split her out wide and get her in more, routes that are favorable to moving the ball down the field.
You mentioned, I guess I mentioned earlier, I can't even keep track anymore, but somebody mentioned that Lauren Prococo leading all tight ends in receiving yards this season. It's not even just tight ends. She's 4th in the league in receiving yards, period. She's got 5 receiving touchdowns. That's 3rd best in the league. She does a great job. But here's the thing, as we see Arizona's offense getting back at it. DC is not a passing team. They're just not. Synergy has thrown the ball second to least in the league. Only 171 pass attempts coming in tonight. Only has 14 more to show for it so far in this one. This offense has really been the Kevin Say show. He's top 10 in rushing yards. He's top 10 in carries. He's top 5 in touchdowns. You know, I mean, this. You look at the rushing offense as a whole between Kevin Say, Sam Harrison, Chuck Steller, and heck, even Mason Kirby, who's got a couple of carries. They're third best in the league, 333 rushing attempts. They're fourth best in the league in yards, just under 1,300 on the league. And then they have 13 rushing touchdowns. That's second most in the league out of any team. So this is a run-first offense, not a pass-first offense. But if they have any shot of getting back into this one, first off, they got to stop allowing things like that. Is that one deep pass goes to Hank Earl Troll, getting massive yards. So the defense is going to have to step up. I argue the defense is going to have to score. They're going to have to get some pick sixes, scooping scores, something. Maybe a kick return touchdown on special teams. But then Sebastian Energy is going to have to do what he hasn't done all season long, and that's just come out and throw the ball like mad. They've got to abandon the run at this point.
Yeah, look, and the way that they've done it right has been in the run game and being very, very strategic on how they feed Lauren Pakoko, and she's been dominant when she has been getting the ball. But the thing that's been propelling them to where they've been at winning 4 of their last 5 has been the defense and the way they have been able to apply pressure on the quarterback and have them be able to force turnovers. They're not doing that. Yes, they have had 2 sacks right now by Wagner, but on the passing end of it, they're not knocking balls down. The wide receivers are seemingly wide open at TJ Punk and Yale Montana. So if you're not able to get in those passing lanes and either pick those off or stop them from catching it at all, knocking it down, but they're getting too wide open on the back end, and they're not stopping them. Speaking of like the whole, you know, shrimp net versus cargo net. It's just,
we're back to that.
Yeah, they run on a cargo net defense right now when they're shrimping.
I get it now. So a cargo net must have really large gaps.
Very, very big.
Oh.
It's just made for
larger than shrimp.
Larger cargos, probably something like a 6x6 square.
Oh.
That's a 6x6 squares.
And this is one of those educational moments that, you know, the more you know.
Yep. There's less netting on a cargo net versus more netting material on a shrimping.
I'm a little disappointed that it's not an animated, like the star swooping in, and, you know, could be better.
I thought it was great. Educational things.
Yeah, football and an education. Ashley Jackson down to the bottom. They can seemingly do no wrong here. I mean, everything that they're trying to do is working. Ashley Jackson has only missed 1 pass, and I argue, no offense, Mr. Grabowski, that was not Jackson's fault. She threw it right to Adam Grabowski, and he basically leapt out of bounds.
Well, that's offense to him because you said he didn't do his job. So.
Well, yeah. No, I guess it was. Yeah, the offense was intended. Look at this.
Oh.
Look at this. Look at this. Touchdown, Arizona. And wow. I said the route is on in the first half. You know, let's look at the blimp, shall we? Oh, there it is. That's a beautiful blimp.
It's beautiful. You guys fixed the screen. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, there was something wrong with it. Listen, the guy I had paint the blimp, he went kind of wild and painted over my LED. No, DC's, they don't want to allow this. They're going to challenge this. We're going to see if he was down a little bit ahead of time.
There's fight in them yet. That is a beautiful airship, by the way.
It's a blimp.
It's an airship.
Let's take a retroactive look at this play presented by Retroid.
It looks like he got in.
Get your console to play the SFL on the go at GoRetroid.com. Yeah, he is down. So DC will not be charged a timeout. So they've got that going for him. Eddie Gage, none too pleased.
He looks disappointed. You're up 27-0. Jermaine is your friend. Why would you do that to a friend?
It's doing him dirty.
Well, if he's a friend like Mike, then...
No, what's that supposed to... You mean a friend that gave you a bomb pop?
Yeah, a friend that just crapped all over people wanting to come play for my squad. that kind of friend.
Well, listen, you're a division rival now. What'd you think was going to happen?
That's true.
Your logo's a two-legged horse. That don't even make sense.
The best of the two-legged horses.
So like I was saying a minute ago, touchdown Arizona as they run their way in. We should, you know what? So I want to see the blimp again, but I guess we got to look at those guys instead.
They look overly excited when they know the game's practically over, but yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's been a rout. DC just hasn't shown up. I don't think DC is. I mean, they're probably barely over 100 total yards in the game right now, with their offensive production. They've been across the 50, I believe, one time, and that was before half, and they couldn't get the field goal unit out there quick enough. So they're very likely are looking at a shutout if this keeps on going that way.
Only been shut out one time in their history, which is a very storied history, Gerald. They've been part of the league for 11 seasons, not 11 seasons straight. It's the only franchise that actually left for a little bit. They started all the way back in season 5 and won their championship game in their very first season against the Santa Fe Gorillas. And flag on that play. Wouldn't that have been something if that kick return went for a touchdown and then got called all the way back to the 10-yard line? It is a clipping call, blocking the back. It'll back up DC a little bit, but
was that a Matt Wilson season with the Santa Fe Gorillas?
Was not.
Then?
No.
So greatness hadn't hit the SFL at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. So he saw Santa Fe that season and knew he wanted to come and play for them. You know, he's a big fan of Syracuse orange football and loved the Syracuse color scheme, and of course the Santa Fe Gorillas color scheme was pretty much identical. So he said he wanted to go play for that franchise, and then shortly after joining, owner Ramos Lynn said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to move out of Santa Fe to Mexico City and totally change the color scheme. So there you go. Fun fact. The more you know. Where is it?
It's somewhere in there. Somewhere in there. There it is.
There we go.
So, but look, it's, you know.
Let's see what DC can do. I mean, they've been around for a long, long time. You know, started in season 5, like I said. They went, season 6 and 7, and then decided to take a little hiatus. They were off from season 8 through 15. Came back in season 16, where they went 3-9 for a couple of seasons, and then finally getting into a winning record. Since season 18, they've either had a winning record or been 500 every single season. And listen, I don't think there's any doubt, although, holy cow, a completion to another person, Jay Hayden, getting a catch, getting a first down. Even with that, it is insanely unlikely that they are going to be able to win this game, right? So
it's unlikely. I think it's impossible.
Impossible to win this game. I would agree. So they're going to fall to 5-5. They were 5-5 after week 12 in both seasons 20 and 21. In season 21, Gerald, they still went to the playoffs. They finished that season 7-5. So all hope is not lost if when the clock strikes 0, when they lose this game. They still do have a shot at the playoffs. It's all eyes ahead for them now to Baltimore, who they take on next week. That's going to be a critical game for them. Division opponent, currently one spot ahead of them in the standings. They'll have to win that one to keep going.
Yeah, and they finally just started to catch balls in traffic here as, Josh Skill, Mason Kirby decides to actually participate in the ball catching festivities that is this drive. But this is a huge third down right here, right? And it looks like they're going up to and look, and Eddie Gage allows them to call an audible right here.
Arizona looking like they're going to send some pressure. Percoco moves up to the top.
If they run to this weak side, I'm going to lose my mind.
Synergy's going to throw, looking Percoco's way, tipped and nearly picked off. That one bobbled around by Albert Begin, and fourth down coming.
I think that ball was actually going for Jay Hayden, who ran a little bit of a deeper route. I think had he thrown it to Percoco there, I think Percoco probably comes away with it because she had some separation on her defender there. But this is it's just not good at all from DC. This is not what we expected from
flex
this game at all. It's
No.
like, especially the way that Arizona, right, was seemingly in some people's eyes losing 2 in a row, was struggling. And DC winning 4 out of their last 5. You would think that this would have been, and even the line by Jack Stata even says so at, Arizona only being a 4.5 point favorite
Right.
at home.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, this was a game that we had flexed into this time slot. Really thought this was going to be a very competitive matchup, and listen, when Eddie Gage loses 2 in a row, he gets a little upset, and I think that is showing now in this game plan. He don't want to lose 3, man. He wants to win the division, and we're about 13 minutes 20 seconds away from him doing just that.
Yeah, I just think DC's missed it on all marks in their game planning, right? Maybe they thought Arizona would come out and do something, and it did something completely different, right? But look, Arizona's doing their thing, right? Like I said in kind of our breakdown, right? That Arizona, I figured that there was no panic in the desert in what they were doing, right? They're still a quality football team. They're a really good football team, actually. So, and it's one of these things where this 8th win, right, is going to obviously guarantee them a spot. When I said, hey, at 7 wins, they were already into my mind. So, and they're going to win the West. I don't think there's any competition for them, in my opinion, in the West at all right now, right? What they got Albuquerque that sits right behind them at 5-4, and I just don't think it's going to happen. Their only division loss was against Denver, right? Which Denver is all but out of it, right? Because they have 6 losses and only 3 wins on the season.
Yeah, they're out of it. Yeah,
I think with this right here, it solidly puts them division winners. I do think it does, because guess what? This actually clinches in the division now that I'm looking at it. You want to know why? Because they are going to win the division. Why? Because they actually have the tiebreaker over the Albuquerque Adams.
Another challenge. Take another retroactive look at this play. Get your console to play the SFL on the go at GoRetroid.com. Yeah.
Well, look,
we talked about that in the opening in the pregame show. 8 wins them the division.
Now, like it does get them in playoff. I think it clinches in the division. Now there is a few games out there that need to be played. They each have one more division game to play. If Albuquerque wins out and they end up with a better division record, then they seemingly would win. Or are we going by division record wins the division, or a head-to-head inside the division wins it? Let's get clarification from our wonderful, super-powered commissioner.
The tiebreakers get confusing. They're down in inches. Didn't quite pick up the first down there. 2 successful challenges for DC.
But if we're looking at it from a head-to-head standpoint, I do think that they take the division.
They'll take the division.
I think
that's
so.
why I said it during the pregame show, during my intro, and throughout the game. It's like you don't even listen to me. It's like during a broadcast meeting when you take your headphones off.
I really don't.
Else.
I took it off because I was being asked a question and I couldn't hear because you were talking. I didn't know my mic was hot.
I don't. Yeah. I don't need your excuses.
There's no excuses.
7-yard pickup. Listen, the tiebreakers for the division. First off, it goes by overall record, then any head-to-head games. Which, everybody in the division will play each other once. Then by divisional record, and then by the proverbial strength of victory, which has been a thorn in my side in the past. 7-5. We both have had the same thing happen.
Well, it's happened to you one time. It's happened to us like, I'm gonna say a gazillion, but it's probably it was probably like 3, but it's like
Minnesota. They can clinch with a win or with an Indianapolis loss later on this week. Indy is 4-5, Minnesota 7-2, but Indianapolis, of course, we mentioned this in the pregame show. They have the tiebreaker with the head-to-head win in the opening week at the SFL convention over Minnesota. The headbutt heard around the world Remember that? I don't think you were there for the game itself.
Yeah,
but,
it was not there. I got threatened by a Sasquatch when I made my picks.
Yeah,
And I would now tell said Sasquatch that I was correct.
you were.
My 18-7 record proves it.
The more you know. We got to get a little soundbite for that every time it pops up.
Well, we can have you do the jingle.
Yeah. Well, that was it. Just clip it.
Clip it.
Apparently, my version isn't appreciated in the league circles. 3rd down and 8 from field goal range. Jackson to throw as the third quarter takes away, jumping one-handed catch. Complete over the middle, 1st down and 10.
And
Right on the edge of the red zone.
And there's a Donnie Hand sighting.
Donnie Hands, yeah, well, he's one of the only ones that hadn't had a catch yet in the day. So he says, let me do it with some pizzazz. Gets that one there. That'll bring the third quarter to a close. 3 quarters in the books. 10 minutes remains here from Arizona. It's all Arizona in this one, but stay tuned. You never know what you'll learn.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Sounded like Foghorn Leghorn there for a second. That was kind of weird. Remember Foghorn Leghorn?
Dude, he's by far one of the best cartoon characters ever invented. Well, I say, come here, boy.
What I say now? I say,
Come here, boy.
Brad Jones is here. Brad Jones just got a 5-yard pickup running up the left-hand side there.
Dude.
2nd and 5, Arizona.
He convinced the poor little chicken hawk to go beat up dogs and everything else. He was so manipulative. It was just something. It's something amazing.
Yeah. Tackled back at the line of scrimmage. It's a third down and 5 here, I tell you. Put your fours up in the chat. Ah, man, I'm killing Gerald again.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Take a drink.
Yeah, Foghorn Leghorn is quite the amazing cartoon character.
Oh, absolutely.
He was a very large chicken.
A big chicken. Jackson breaking sacks, finally brought down. Sacked back at the 30. There's an injury on the play, Gerald. Brad Wright, looks like. Bismarck Wright. Down for Arizona. Keep an eye on him.
And there's 3 sacks on the day for the defense of DC, but I mean you can't really tell.
No, I mean it's almost like they never even happened.
Lopsided.
Obviously that one kind of a throwaway sack at that point, if you will. Already down this much. Field goal's wide right.
No special teams. You can't say that. He didn't.
Yeah.
He shot that one wide right on that. In some circles, that's words that shall never be spoken.
Yeah, I was trying to just let it go. But you just had to.
Nope, you're going to be that friend. I'm going to be that friend.
What do you mean?
Yeah, man.
I am nothing but delightful. I share my bomb pops.
Well, we wrote with the Lombardi, not you. The Lamar Hunt is not the same.
No, it's not.
But you'll have quite the collection.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of them. Poor Kevin Say. See, when I mentioned the front 7 for Arizona, no, they haven't really applied a lot of pressure on Synergy so far in this game. DC, of course, with 3 sacks. Arizona, they've got none. But what have they been able to do? They took away the number 1 strength of this offense in Kevin Say. He's averaging 2 yards per carry, only got 1 there. Forced passes to Percoco. I mean, she's got 8 catches for 90 yards, but that's just not going to be it if you can't get the run game going. And this is what we've seen all night long. Picks up another 2 right on average.
And the linebacker play from Sean Moore, Gerald Lawless, and Nathaniel Diggs. I mean, those guys have. And anything that's been trying to run to the edge or even up the middle, those guys have been there to be able to shut it down.
Trips up top, Synergy. Goes to the bottom.
Oh, Mason Kirby.
Yeah. Mason Kirby spinning, breaking tackles, and into the end zone. Oh, he's even showboating. Son, you're down 34-0. Touchdown, DC. Oh, you know what? I'll give him a bone here. That's our breakaway play of the game, brought to you by Breaks GPT, sports memorabilia breakers and collectors. You never know whose autographed helmet or jersey you might hit. Check them out at breaksgpt.com. Listen, amazing play by Kirby. Celebrating before you score.
Look, man, you got to take your wins when you can get it, because it's been a terrible game for them. The biggest play of the game for them. Look, and you know, you talk about Breaks GPT. They actually broke their O streak going for these last 3 quarters and able to get themselves on the board. But look, they stand on par with how many plays that they've actually had on a drive, which is roughly 3.
This is the 135th game that DC has ever played in, and they'd only been shut out one time ever. Back in season 16, week 2, it was January of 2021. It was a cold winter night. I'll tell you, the temperature was about 3. All right, enough of that crap. DC was on the road in Denver. They got shut out 30-0. Got that O off the scoreboard. Touchdown, not at risk of getting shut out for the second time.
So I guess the question I'd like to ask here is, like, how upset is it for Eddie Gage that his defense has now given up points?
He's up 34-7. I don't really think he cares that he just gave up 7.
I think he cares. I think he cares. Just like he thinks that, you know, it's because he's in the Hall of Fame, you know, no pick sixes doesn't bother him, but it bothers him.
It probably bothers him how much we talk about.
You can leave it up to me to remind him that every chance I get.
I helped you out last week. I made sure I asked the question for you.
I wanted to ask.
I know you did, but you were, you know, quietly muted in the stat struck near death. I appreciate you keeping track of the math when you were dying like that. That was good. Jadoobie-Doo doing a fantastic job, too. You know, he got injured earlier in this game, and he's still here doing stats for us tonight. We got Jadoobie-Doo and Danny Carmichael on stats.
Yeah, making things happen. I'm not gonna lie, we're not that smart.
Listen, Will Todd said it best just now. The only important stat is the W. So they're going to get their 8th win. They're going to win their division. They're going to be 8-2. I don't think they're really going to look at Yayo. I don't think they're going to care if it was 50-0 or 34-33. They win, they win.
When you win 7 games and you're winning another, it matters how big you win by. When you're used to winning, just like you, right?
Sure.
Winning's new to you, I guess, in a sense. Not so much this season, but you're up there, right? It matters. Sure. Like when you're prepping and you want to see yourself blow out your opponent in the practice games, right? You don't want to win by a field goal.
No.
It's not trustworthy.
Yeah.
This solidifies all their prep that they did during the week was 100% correct. It validates the coaches that what they've done is right.
That's right. That's why I don't think it matters that it's 34-7 versus 34-0. He's fine. Do you want me to call him? I mean, there was a phone on the sideline. It looked like it was a phone from 1950.
Yeah, that dude needs to upgrade. He's having budget cuts. He's putting all the budgeting for the team into these uniforms because you can see how good they look. They probably got their own, like, fashion designer or something attached to the team. Eddie Gage, you need to update those darn phones on the sideline because nobody uses those anymore.
Listen, we need to talk about something else here as Arizona just continues to march down the field and score. The broadcast team. We've got the minor league coming up in about a month. The second half of season 9 will kick off. We're looking to get some new voices on the air so that people don't have to constantly listen to us talking about random nonsense. Oh my gosh, an incomplete pass to Montana.
Yeah,
it's only the second incompletion on the day. That's crazy. Listen, your time is now to get your voice on the call. We're looking for passionate SFL participants to join our broadcast team for the continuation of the minor league season 9 kicking off next month. Please visit simfl.net/broadcasting for more details on how you can get involved and be one of the biggest difference makers in the future of SFL action. You can also send me a DM, Mike Daggs, or you can send Chris Curtis a DM. Either way, you can let us know that you want to be part of the broadcast team. And the reason I say we got to talk about it, Gerald, is because you weren't always part of broadcasting. You had started out with Matt Wilson and I, when Matt Wilson and I would call the games together, and you were our stats guy for the longest time ever. Another incompletion, but a flag on the play. and then, of course, the untimely passing of Matt, and, my broadcasting future uncertain. Didn't really know if I wanted to keep going with it, but then you and I were talking pretty much the next day, and, kind of reinvigorated me to want to keep going and to honor Matt by doing so. And, I know you were, I don't know, hesitant's the right word, but you've never done broadcasting, and
Correct.
now it's the highlight of our week every week.
Oh, it is the best part of my week, which is why it was so tough to just stay away last week, but I just didn't want to die on air. But like it's a crazy thing. So for those who think that they can't do it, get in there and do it right. We've had tons of people come in, especially, and I am a person that too. I think this is what, I don't know, my third or fourth season. Maybe?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
I'm doing
Fourth,
it. So
yeah.
myself, I'm still relatively new to this whole broadcasting thing. But as long as you come in there, you with enthusiasm and have fun, and be able to offer whatever unique take that you have on the game, it's definitely doable. As a guy who, his first call was on air in a prime time game.
Sure was. Yeah, I remember Cam was like, "Wait, what are you doing?"
Right, with
Go with it.
Right, with one of the most experienced guys that we've had, like you being a broadcast director and everything here. It's like, it was intimidating for me, but I'm like, hey, look, this is a thing to honor our friend, to also help my friend and Mike Daggs as well, right? Kind of heal through this type of process, because this is a something you've gotten into because of Matt. I'm like, hey, I couldn't say no to it. So, and it's one of the better things I did. It is the joy and highlight of my week every week.
Arizona held just shy of getting another first down. I thought they were about to punch it into the end zone once again. But so, while we still have a few minutes left, so one of the things that I think a lot of people are hesitant about here in the league when it comes to broadcasting, I see a lot of people on shows. There's a lot of shows around there, between Ashley Jackson's show, we got Eddie Gage's show. There's different shows that bring on different people. They'll do interviews. They're not afraid to get on the mic, but I haven't seen them apply for the broadcast teams. It's a lot of fun, and I can't help but wonder if there's people that are just maybe a little hesitant because they think, oh, listen, I can go on a show and say whatever comes to mind, but actually trying to call a game. They're hearing us throw out stats like, hey, DC hasn't been shut out, since season 16. And, talking about DC's offense and where Kevin Say ranks and everything. And I think a lot of people might hear some of these stats being thrown out there and think, gosh, I don't know all that stuff. I don't know how I would be able to call a game and say all that same information because I just don't know it. Here's a little peek behind the curtain. Neither do I. We have a research tool, a spreadsheet that has just a wealth of information all over it. And Bo Martin says he feels attacked.
He should feel attacked.
I'm speaking to you, Bo.
He should feel attacked.
I'm speaking to you, Percoco getting another catch. But listen, if that's what you're thinking, if you're thinking I can't do what they're doing, yes, you can, because we give you the tools. We give you the resources that you need. The research sheet has all of this information. All you got to do is just scroll around the sheet and look stuff up. You do some pregame prep and try to, make sure you're looking for milestones and things like that. But, information that you need to pull up on the fly, like, hey, when's the last time a team was shut out? I didn't know that about DC before tonight. I looked it up as we were calling the game. As Gerald was yammering on about something irrelevant, I'm sure, I looked it up. That was mean again. I am sorry.
It was no, that was on point. It was really irrelevant of what it was. Dude, it's one of those things where, like, I don't know, because I had to call the game remotely last week, which was terrible. And my mic is usually muted all the time. And it just wasn't, because I had to call a game last week from home, and it just was,
Yeah.
My apologies.
It's okay. But, it's fine. It's, you're talking over my meeting. But we have weekly meetings. Only last about a half hour. I try to keep them short, and we talk about the different things coming up. Either, what happened last week, what's coming up this week, and, highlight some of the better calls of the week so we can all help learn from each other. I mean, listen, if you have even a basic setup, we're not looking for everybody to have a Shure SM7B microphone and premium audio equipment. There's when I started broadcasting, as you see a flag, we'll have to see what this was. Nice little shovel pass to Kevin Say, but probably an offensive holding, I'm thinking. Yeah.
What?
Oh, they're going to call a block in the back.
A clipping right as he was throwing the ball?
Yeah, that's bizarre. But DC backed up even further now, 3rd and 25. When I started broadcasting, and oh gosh, I don't even remember what season that was at this point. It was a while ago. I actually borrowed a headset from my son, and that was what I called the game with. And, you know, I mean, did it sound perfect? No. You got the job done. You know, you don't have to have premium audio equipment to be able to call a game. You don't have to have an SFL history dating back to the very beginning all locked in your head like Ramos Lynn does. I mean, he doesn't need the research sheet. He actually literally does know all of those stats. It's ridiculous. I don't know how he does it. But for us common folk, we have it all laid out there. I mean, you have a full roster that's laid out for you. You don't even have to make those. It's got all the offensive players, the defensive players. Man, going for it on 4th and 25. That's how you know it.
On a sneak?
I'm just going to keep going about broadcasting. So it's just poor play design there, unfortunately.
Poor play design. I think it was very much designed to do that.
Yeah.
That was poor play choice.
Yeah. So, yeah, all 25 teams' rosters are laid out. You know, when we talk about, player being a 3-time All-Star, like, Sebastian Synergy, 1-time All-Star. Hey, did you know he was the Offensive Rookie of the Season back in Season 8? Neither did I until I just read it. The information is here. So, you know, we might sound like we're super smart, but we're just reading. That's all.
Yeah, if you can read, I'm sure everyone can read.
The Foghorn Leghorn impression is something that you got to practice at. I don't provide that. I don't just provide the Foghorn Leghorn impersonation. You got to learn how to do a Foghorn Leghorn. I don't even know if it's that good.
I like it. I
can
love
start
it.
doing my Madden one. That one comes and goes. It depends on how my throat is that day.
Yeah.
There's a guy that's got a 2nd and 9. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Ball's handed off, John. Right up the middle. Boom, we hit the 2-minute warning. With 1:58. That's pretty funny, John. A 2-minute warning, and there's not even 2 minutes. You're watching the Simulation Football League on YouTube. I don't know what's happening anymore. An absolute blowout.
That was quite amazing.
Wasn't bad, right?
Look, I can imitate people, but it's people at work that annoyed the crap out of me.
Yeah, only you will know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So
and then they might
that.
find out and get annoyed, and then HR gets involved. You don't want that. Another flag.
And then that guy's just dead.
Yep. John Gary, another injury. 3rd injury we've seen in this one. Ty Patak says that was good. Thank you. Bo Martin, Madden impersonation, right? Yes. Not bad. I love this crowd. These are my people.
Yeah.
Face mask called.
Oh, he was good.
Yeah.
Could do a whole game like that.
Can you do a Pat Summerall?
I cannot. I can just
well, if you were
really slow.
It's more like this. You got to get the voice a little bit raspier. That's your Pat Summerall. There, I'll try to do a Pat Summerall here. 1st down and 10 now from the 38. Ball is handed off. Now, you can't call it too fast, though.
No.
Like, if he just busted it out all the way to the end zone there, I would have still been saying he's taking the handoff from Ashley Jackson. Like, after he would have scored, the extra point would have happened, and then I would have finally said, touchdown, and Madden would have gone, boom, there is a touchdown. It's
Yep, because... Yeah, Summerall, I do think, watched the game on an actual delay.
Like he was the very first one to ever watch the game on YouTube. YouTube didn't even exist.
Yeah, I think he watched the game on some sort of a delay, and that's how he called the game.
YouTube did exist. See, Bo says I have to stick with Madden. Was my Pat Summerall not good?
It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. I can't do Pat Summerall, and he's just...
Usually I just do the Madden one, and then I'll add in, thanks, John. That's it. That's usually all I say with Pat. Because that's all Pat usually said. You know, Madden would say some sort of really goofy thing. Like, there's a guy that just ran down to the bottom of the screen. What do you think of that, Pat? Thanks, John.
You know, like, I don't know.
That's it.
John Madden stated the obvious. He wasn't great.
That's all he did. Yeah, everybody thought he was the greatest.
So that guy hit that guy?
May he rest in peace. But there's a guy that just ran over another guy. Wow, look at this. They're going to kneel it down. You know, yeah.
He was not a very good. He just had the enthusiasm behind the voice.
The calls were amazing.
And it was just.
And that's a Gruden. I got to work on that one, Ty. I'm not even going to try it right now. You know, but listen, getting back to what I was actually talking about. See, Demond says I nailed Pat. Thank you, Demond. Take that, Bo. Point is, you don't have to be a professional commentator to call a game here in the SFL. You just have to have a passion for football, a passion for the league, and you want to give it a shot. We've got the minor league coming up at the end of October. It's a great place for you to call some games. They're low pressure. You don't have to have like a primetime spotlight like now where you can do all sorts of goofy impressions and make an ass out of yourself. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that, but I did. But listen, send me a DM, send Curtis a DM. Our commissioner's beside himself. I apologize in advance. 40 seconds to go. One more kneel down. We'll get out of here. Week 12 will continue tomorrow, headlined by the 7-1 Canton Classics. They will clash against the upstart 5-4 Nashville Tempo at 9 p.m. Eastern. Action around the league will include Vancouver, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Queen City, Louisiana, starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. You can catch all the action, as always, right here on SFL YouTube. I hope that 4-minute little tirade wasn't a tirade. My 4-minute little speech will get someone to sign up.
Because we do minor league games, and what they do, the minor league games offer such a laid back thing. And Mike and I have made it a thing where someone gets a nickname if you're in the minor leagues at some point in time, and it sticks, and you can't escape it.
Lake Man Shuffle. We got Lord Vicarian.
Yep, Lord Vicarian, Lake Man Shuffle, the mayor.
Yeah.
Goldie Morrison.
Yeah, Goldie Morrison, the mayor. Final in this one, 37-7. Arizona getting the dominating win, getting back in the win column, and, of course, winning the West Division. $9.99 Super Chat. Arizona, I love y'all. Game ball to Ashley Jackson with a masterclass performance. # Division Champs. And Eddie also told us earlier on, Will Todd. Listen to this, Will Todd. Will Todd is my favorite. All-time favorite Scorpion, despite not being heavily involved in the offense, continues to come back. The season that Dags retired, he was certain he was going to head over to Mexico City. Will, there's still a home for you over there, buddy, but you know what? I think you're probably going to stay in Arizona. Eddie, Gerald, your final thoughts on this one? I'm sorry I cheated on you last week.
No.
And I just got your name wrong.
You're 100% not. But Arizona did what Arizona's been doing for the first 7 weeks of the season. They had a couple of hookups and everything else. But guess what we have now? DC struggled mightily. They couldn't hang on to the ball. And Arizona just beat them to a pulp, and they held the ball for most of the game. So, and here we are with this thing here. So DC, they still have life left. Arizona, congratulations on being the first SFL team to win the division this season.
Arizona scoring on every drive except for one, and that was the one where they just kneeled the ball down. Next up for DC, they'll head home. They'll host Baltimore, their division rivals, and for Arizona, they'll also be home and host Motor City in Week 13. We'll see more SFL action throughout the weekend. For Gerald Smith, Jadooby-Doo, Danny Carmichael, Foghorn Leghorn, Cameron Irvine, and Matt Wilson, who's always with me in spirit, I'm Mike Dags. Thanks for joining us. Be kind to one another. Always choose happy. Have a great night. We'll see you.